Okay, welcome back to Nightlife. Well, she started singing on the radio when she was only 10 years old. She just released her 60th album. Please welcome Dolly Parton. Hi, how you doing? How you doing?
Can I just say hi to your great band?
Sure.
It's a great thrill. Hi. Billy, how are you? Big fan. Big fan. You got a great sound. And hello to you and hi, folks.
You know what's so terrific? I saw you, what, about a month ago, right? And you're still thin. You are real. You're almost like you're borderline skinny.
No, I don't think I'm skinny. I'm such a tiny little person that I've been fat so long that it's just such a drastic change. When people see me, they think I'm too skinny, but I'm really just about what I should be, being a short little sawed-off hunky.
Well, how did this sawed-off hunky get so thin? How'd you do it?
Well, it wasn't easy. Actually, it was about the hardest job I've ever had. Anybody that loves to eat and loves to cook, and I do. I love every restaurant in the city of New York, Los Angeles, or Nashville, and I love to cook. And I just, I'm not really physically active, so I really have a tendency to, you know, to gain a lot of weight.
Yeah.
And at my age, on top of my height, I just decided I was going to have to do something. So I tried every diet in the world. I've fasted. I've been on Atkins. I've been on Scarsdale liquid protein. But I finally had to just work out something that fit my lifestyle and just the way that I am. So I eat a lot of small meals a day. I eat what I like, eat desserts and everything. I just kind of pick and everything.
You mean small portions?
Small portions.
And many.
Yeah, about 6 meals a day, small meals a day. And, but just little ones, though.
I sometimes spread it out. You ever spread it out? Like sometimes what I'll do is I have one meal a day. But sometimes I'll have usually I have it at one time. But sometimes if I have something in the afternoon, I'll have like a soup and a salad. And then for dinner, I'll have the entree, and then later the dessert. That's only one meal. It's spread out.
No, that's true. But I like to eat a lot. I mean, I like to eat often. I get hungry a lot. Now, first thing I want to do when I wake up is to eat. And so it's worked out better for me eating a lot of small meals, so when I can kind of kill that hunger, and then when it starts to gnawing at me again, I'll eat a little bit more. And it's working pretty good. I wake up every morning, I go to the mirror. I wake up and I think I've dreamed I've lost all that weight, and I look to see if I'm fat, still fat. So it's really a nice feeling. I feel much better, you know, about myself. And so it's a good feeling waking up every day.
Did you ever hear the water diet? This is a diet I sometimes use. I don't think it's in any book. What you do is when you sit down, you drink 4 to 6 8-ounce glasses of water before you order your food in a restaurant. Now, no, I'm serious now. No, really, Dolly. You drink this water. Now you're like really bloated. And you get the menu and you order. But by the time the food comes, you're bloated. Plus the exercise or running to the bathroom during that meal.
Yeah, that's why I figured if I drank that much water at the table, I'd go to pee and somebody'd eat my food so I wouldn't gain weight if I didn't.
Now, when you cook, I mean, you're a great cook. You love to cook.
I'm a great Southern cook. I love to cook a lot of fried things, fried okra,
Yeah, but
fried
that's
chicken and
fattening.
gravy.
See,
It's very fattening.
yeah,
What I love is fattening. Yeah.
But don't you, now what are you cooking?
I cook the same thing. I just don't eat so much of it. You know, I just eat. I hate diet foods. I hate diet drinks.
Yeah,
I hate
so do
diet
I.
colas.
I don't like the diet
I
stuff.
hate
Yeah.
NutraSweet and all that stuff. So, I mean, I do it. I mean, any fat pig will do whatever you got to do. But it's, you know, I've lost about 40 pounds. That's a lot of weight.
On a small person, that's a lot.
But I didn't even realize myself what a small person I really am, because I've got real small bones, and like I say, I'm only like 5'1", 5'2", and I'd forgot that I'm just a little bitty person that was carrying all that weight around. So I feel a lot better. I had a lot of trouble with my voice too when I had gained all that weight, because I was having to work in tight clothes, just trying to, you know, have some kind of look. Yeah. And by the time I was working 9 to 5. So I really feel a lot better now because I just have a lot more energy and a lot more vitality, and I just feel better. Anyhow, anytime you feel better about yourself, I think you just feel better.
You perform better. You do everything better.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And you look real good and healthy.
Thanks.
You don't have a weight problem.
Well, that's because I told you I'm always on a diet.
Well.
And people think that I used to be thin. When I was a kid, I could eat 5 major meals a day and never gain. But then when you get older, you can't. It hangs in there.
I know, it hangs on there.
Yeah, it really hangs on there. So I diet all the time. That's how I stay thin.
But you don't, do you love to eat?
Love it.
Yeah,
Forget
see, that's the thing.
it.
A lot
Oh,
of
man,
people
I
don't
love
love to eat. I love to eat.
Yeah, oh, I love it. And I love, all, like you said, all the fattening stuff. But every once in a while, I'll pig out at night because it's my only meal. You know, I'll do the double mashed potato gravy number.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, every once in a while, I lose control, and I think I owe that to myself. As long as I'm maintaining and I can keep it within a, you know, within 3 to 5 pounds of what I think I should be, then every now and then I'll go nuts again. But I try not to do that much because I don't want to get back in that habit.
Well, once you put it back, you've had it.
I know.
See, these are all addictions, you know. Like I used to smoke. Did you ever smoke cigarettes?
No, I don't smoke.
See, you're lucky. See, that's a real bad addiction. I've been off cigarettes 8 years, and the other day I was really, like, wanted to have a cigarette. They're the kind of addictions that stay with you.
Yeah.
You know, you got to watch it. What about your amusement park? You eat your, you know, Dolly has Dollywood. There's an amusement park in Tennessee called Dollywood, right?
It's a theme park, and
Right?
we have a lot of amusement rides. It's a park that I opened up last year. This is our first anniversary, and we're opening again on May the 2nd. And
Anything new this year? You've got anything new there?
Yeah, we added a $6 million expansion in the fantasy area, the kiddie area, so we got a lot of new rides, and we did real well last year. We had about 1.5 million people. This is up in the Great Smoky Mountain National Park area, which is the most visited national park and the most beautiful, I think, in the United States. We have about 10 million people that come through the park. It's also where I was born and raised, and this was a dream of mine to go back, take something that I could really have and have my people be proud of me. I'm so proud of that part of the country. And so it's provided a lot of great jobs for a lot of the people up there that really needed work. It's really added a lot. They're building new hotels, new motels, and within the park we have a lot of dancing and music, comedy. We have a lot of arts and crafts.
But you also have amusements, right? You also have.
Oh yeah, we have a lot of amusement rides.
Do you get on amusements?
Of course, I have to put my wig on with horseshoe nails to get on the rides, but or staple gun or something. But I do. I enjoy it. They make me try all the new rides. And
I used to work rides. I worked at amusement park.
Did you really?
Yeah, I used to operate everything. I used to operate the carousel, everything. You want to hear what was so sickening about the job?
Yeah, what?
It's one of the worst jobs I ever had. I started working when I was 9 years old. It's one of the worst. You know that now. You watch this. An observation in Dollywood, all right? Everyone, every man, woman, and child, when they get on an amusement ride, and you start the ride, everyone says the same thing. Here we go. 3 years. Here we go. I want to chop the chain. Boom. There you go. We'll be right back after this. God, I hate that. Okay. Welcome back to Nightlife. Now, Dolly, this is actually the 60th album with Linda Ronstadt, Emmylou Harris. You worked on this a long time now, didn't you?
Yeah, this is the first album that I've ever done with them. I've been recording for a long time, but Linda Ronstadt and Emmylou Harris are two of the best friends that I have in the music business. And we became friends about 12, 13 years ago, and we were sitting around in Emmylou's living room singing, and we thought, boy, this is a real good sound. We sounded like family. There's a certain kind of family sound that you get where the harmonies are so close, and we really sounded like sisters, and we thought it would be a good idea to record an album. And so we tried about 10 years ago to record this, and it didn't turn out the way we wanted it to, and we kind of got sidetracked. So this past year we decided to get back together and finish it, and it's been out for about 6 weeks now, and it's just doing great, and it's got good reviews. It's basically country, actually. It's a very simple album, but it's getting a lot of attention.
Well, when you work with such heavy-duty names as this, there's no ego problems with the three of you?
No, it's the same as when I worked with Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda. We're all three different personalities. We're very confident in who we are. We're sure of what we do and that we do it well for who we are. And it's not a matter of being in competition. We complement each other, and we're just happy that we're able to, get to do this at our, our place and time.
Did you write any of these, by the way?
Yeah, I did. I wrote a few of the songs on the album, and a lot of the songs are old songs from the past, and some old gospel songs, and well, one old gospel song, and some old folk songs, some things I learned from my mother. And Linda and Emmy both brought several songs to the project. We recorded several songs and wound up with 11, I think.
How do you, I heard that you've written about 3,000 songs.
I have 3,000 songs published.
3,000 songs. Now, where do you get the ideas? I mean, your head must be pounding.
Not really. That's just something I do, and you can just look out you know, I just look at people and I could write a song. I could look at you and write a song about what we're doing. I have a gift of rhyme. I've got 3,000 songs. That's not to say they're all good songs, because I just write because it's fun, and I write poetry and things. But I've been lucky. I've had a lot of songs recorded by other artists, and a lot of the songs that I've recorded are songs I've written.
Well, what do you hear? Do you hear the music, or you hear the words? I mean,
it comes to me at the same time, because I don't read music, but I make it up, and so I just hear a sound in my head. And so I just start playing my little guitar. Sometimes I write with a banjo or the auto harp. Depends on what style. I don't play piano well, but I play well enough that I can write with it. And so usually it all comes at the same time for me.
And you're actually from a family of what, 12 of you?
12 kids, 6 girls, 6 boys, from the mountains, and all my people were very musical, so there was always a lot of music going on. My mother's people especially were musical, and we grew up singing in church, a lot of those holy roller gospel songs, and where you get that good spirit. So I really learned to sing in church, and I think a lot of my music kind of carries that old gospel feel.
Well, when you were a kid, did you also write songs? Did you think musically when you were...
Yeah, I started playing guitar when I was 7 and started writing songs, and I was singing on radio and TV when I was 10. I was on television before we ever owned one, or I had seen one, because there was a local show in our town, a radio show and TV show, was sponsored by a man named Cass Walker that had a chain of grocery stores, and so he had his own show where he advertised his groceries. And that's actually where I started, and I was on the Grand Ole Opry when I was about 11. And that was a big thrill for me, and so I've been at it a long time. I'm 41 now, so music world's about all I've ever known.
When you were a kid, how did you go the first time? Would you audition to get on something, or how did you feel about that?
Well, I had an uncle that he thought bigger than a lot of the people, and I just wanted to make it my business. My daddy used to listen to the Grand Ole Opry and the Farm and Home Hour, the local, shows there and at home, and I knew that people were going somewhere to sing. And I wasn't afraid. I always had a real outgoing personality. A lot of the kids in our family were more shy and bashful, more bashful than me. But I would just beg everybody to let me sing. I just wanted to be noticed. I wanted to be seen, I guess. And there were so many of us kids, we didn't get a lot of special attention. Our folks loved us all the same, but, usually... they couldn't just single one out with that many kids running around. And so I guess I just needed a lot of attention, so I would just bug anybody to let me sing. And I used to bug my uncle to death to take me down to the radio station, my Uncle Bill Owens, and he did. And so first time I got up on radio with my little guitar, and the people just loved me. I thought it was because I was good, but now I know it was because I was little. And people always appreciate a little kid or a dog, or an animal or something. So that's what they say in the music business. Don't follow a kid or a dog.
Yeah, never.
But anyhow, so I grew up to be a dog, but at the time I was a kid. But anyhow, that's when I really first started, and it was I just remember that thrill of when the people applauded and they made me think that they liked me, and I just knew that was going to be the world that I was going to live in, and that's what I wanted to do from then on. And from then on, I was impossible. I just wanted to go everywhere to sing.
Did you ever think that all this was going to someday lead to a pinnacle where you would be teaching Sly Stallone how to sing? I mean, did you? That must have been a hell of a job to do, huh?
Well, I didn't actually. It wasn't an easy job, and I didn't really actually ever teach him how to sing. But Sly was fun to work with. He knew he wasn't a singer, and but he had fun trying. I appreciated that he tried so hard. He's very serious about his work, and he just threw himself right into that and really tried his best. To teach somebody to sing is one thing. He grew up loving rock and roll music. I mean, he's from, I guess, somewhere in New York.
Philadelphia and New York, yeah.
So he loved all those old songs, but to try to teach somebody to sing country music when they don't even like it necessarily. So that was, I had my hands full, but it was fun. Even though that movie was a big flop, that was one of the better times I've ever had on a project.
A lot of your career, and that a lot of people kind of took pokes at you and made fun at a time in your career, and you really seemed to just let it bounce off you and go ahead. What was it inside? You just knew what you were, and... Yeah,
I've always known who I am, and as far as the way I look totally artificial and phony, but inside I'm very real. And, well, it's true, and I know that. I'd be an idiot to think that this looked all real. I mean, I wasn't born with this. But anyhow, I can't let people take me away from what I believe and what I think. I've always had a very strong faith in God, I guess, growing up in church, so I always found my strength within myself through the way I found God or knew God to be for me. So it always, you know, it used to hurt my feelings, and it has hurt. But I mean, any sensitive person, things embarrass you or hurt your feelings, but I never let it stop me, because if I'd have listened to people early in my career, I'd have still been in Seville with probably 12 kids of my own, with, you know, just probably with no telling what, anyhow.
Yeah. Well, it's great that you didn't. We're glad you didn't.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this. Well, before we go, Dolly, you got to tell us now. You're doing everything. You even have an ABC variety show, don't you?
Yeah, I have a show starting this fall that'll be on every week, hopefully on Sunday night. We don't know exactly for sure what day, but I'll be on. So I'll be looking at you folks every week. So hopefully we'll have a lot of things on, and maybe you can come be with me sometime.
I would
and be
love
my
to
special
perform.
guest.
I would love to do it.
Good, I'd love
sure,
to.
I'd love to. And thanks a lot for coming here tonight.
And you can bring the band with
I'll bring
you,
the
too.
band with
Billy
me. That's
Preston
it.
and the group.
And the audience. We'll bring the audience, too. All right, thanks a lot. Good night.